Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, big news. Today's turning out to be a very interesting day. Voyager, big news from Voyager about refunding cash. So, what are the details? And what about AMC? They're giving away Ape coin? No, Ape stock. So, what's that about? And we have several other big news I want to report tonight. So let's get started. Smash out the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com and make sure you follow brand new channels. Clips channel, I Am George channel, Drivers Only channel, George Reacts channel. Yeah, it's a lot of channels. All right, welcome, guys. How are you guys doing overall? You know what? Bitcoin is about the same place it was yesterday. We did have a sudden drop off. No real reason other than I think I found something, but we are definitely recovering back up. You could see we're technically still in the green, so we're a little bit higher than we were last night. But there are a lot of altcoins that are making moves. Some of you guys may have noticed that BNB is doing well. Also, a big jump with Flow. What is that about? Up almost 40%. It was higher even before, right? So we do have a few that are moving. And also, ApeCoin is going up due to this AMC announcement, but it has nothing to do with it. So let's talk about that first. So AMC, you guys know AMC. You guys know about Wall Street Bets and everyone that, you know, that all the people that aped in, right, using Robinhood. Basically, AMC is doing something I've never, ever heard of before. It's almost as if they were a crypto company and they're releasing a new token, right? We hear this all the time in the crypto space. That, you know, some projects just come out with some new token and distribute it and airdrop it and all as well. AMC plans on doing that with stock. So they're going to issue a dividend, but almost every single company on earth, when they do that, they give you a dividend in the stock that you hold. So if you're Apple, you get Apple. If you're Microsoft, you get Microsoft. But AMC wants to make sure that if they give you a dividend, you're not just going to sell it off. I think that's their theory. So they're creating a brand new stock called Ape. Yeah, it's called Ape. And as an AMC stockholder, you'll be awarded Ape. And then you could do whatever you want with it. It says that it has the same voting rights as the existing shares, but it's a totally separate stock. I've never, ever heard this. I'm surprised the SEC is even allowing this. I would think that Gary Gensler is having a stroke right now over this. I can't believe they actually approved it, or maybe AMC didn't ask. But yeah, that's what's happening. And you can see that reaction so far is bad. Negative 11% in aftermarket. Right? I would have preferred to see them say, hey, well, you know, we're going to work with ApeCoin and distribute out ApeCoin as dividend. But no, they're going to come out of stock. But I think people are getting confused because the symbol obviously is $ape. I mean, people are getting confused on if it's ApeCoin or it's Ape stock. It's a big weird thing going on. So I just want to start out with that. What else is there? I saw this. This is not good. After Pelosi leaves, guess what China does? Fire missiles over mainland Taiwan. At least that's what Japan reported. It's weird that Taiwan itself didn't notice this. You would figure if there's missiles flying over Taiwan, Taiwan itself would report it. But no, Japan reported that they saw missiles in the ocean. And because it's across from Taiwan, it has to be over Taiwan. That's what they're figuring, right? So China, of course, is still not very pleased about Pelosi visiting and talking with TSMC and talking with Taiwan overall, and they are still, you know, angry about it. I mean, just look at that. It's scary. It's scary to look at stuff like this, right? You see in the movies all the time, Yeah, it's all CGI stuff, right? But this is real. This is real life. This is not CGI. You're witnessing a missile being shot, right? It's kind of scary. Hopefully, again, this doesn't escalate to anything unnecessary, okay? Most likely, China is not going to blow this out of proportion. Fingers crossed, because then we're going to have a much bigger war than what we're seeing right now in Europe, right? So that happened, although that didn't really scare the markets by any, really. So I think most people are anticipating this is just China huffing and puffing, but they're not going to do anything really drastic. But we'll see. Also, the U.S. Senate approves Sweden and Finland's request to join NATO because they're fearful of Russia. And Putin already said it's okay if they join, but if we see any missiles lined up on their borders, get ready. It's going to be World War III. So that's what Putin has said in the past. Like, okay, you could join NATO, but you better make sure that there's no missiles pointing at Moscow from the borders of Sweden and Finland, which is right next door. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but right now it does seem like everything is moving forward in terms of them joining NATO. All right. What else is going on? And while I'm talking, Bitcoin's coming up. Look at that. The George effect is in play. Nice. That's what's happening right now. All right. Now, moving on. Where do I get crypto yield after World War III? That's a good question, Wolf Capital. If my channel is still on and we're all still alive, I will let you know after World War III. What Dan asked, what do you think will happen for BTC to reach 10K? This will be a best opportunity to buy, I think. If Bitcoin goes to 10K, ETH will go down to 200 a coin. I would say more like 500 a coin, right? What would happen? What would need to happen? China declares war on Taiwan and U.S. gets pulled into World War III. That could do it. If one of these missiles accidentally hits TSMC or something like that, that's the most valuable thing Taiwan has. So they would not do that. But let's say this escalates, something like that. Macro conditions could certainly, and of course, Putin starts attacking other NATO countries, that would be horrible. That could help. That could definitely help bring Bitcoin down. But right now, it seems both scenarios are unlikely. All right, but it could happen, just unlikely. All right, now let's talk about better news, okay? Instead of scaring the bejesus out of everyone that's watching this right now, let's talk about some better news. A lot of you guys have been waiting for this, right? Voyager obviously went bankrupt. FTX lowballed them, said, we're going to pay you $15 million to buy you out. And Voyager just laughed at them saying, you know what, we got a lot bigger offers. And honestly, that's such a lowball because Voyager has over $1 billion of assets, including over $200 million in cash, right? And they have been just granted to give $270 million of cash back to the people. So this is good news. If you have some cash on Voyager, most likely you go get it back in full because this is everything that they had, $270 million in cash. Not crypto, just cash. A lot of people had cash in Voyager. The thing is, they don't know when they're going to be able to distribute it, but I think this is a win overall, showing Voyager is trying their best to try to give back what they can. Right now is cash. And then later on, in terms of crypto, it'll be some kind of combination of stock, tokens, and crypto, right? But right now, at least, it's cash. So, Shinobi, war or no war? Economy is looking really bad. Big rate hike coming, and BTC will rank big time. See, I honestly think that is 100% wrong. 100% wrong. The economy is actually not looking so bad. I know there's a lot of doomsayers out there still saying, oh, we're going to fall into the greatest depression we have ever seen. I don't know about you guys. Have you guys gone out and ate anywhere or shopped anywhere? Everywhere I go, every retail store I've been to recently, every single restaurant I have been to recently, there are signs on the door says, help wanted. Right? The labor force is still scarce. These businesses are still desperately trying to hire. This is actually what Powell's been saying. There's more jobs There's more than enough jobs for the unemployed, and unemployment is at a 50-year low. And more big rate hikes are not coming because inflation is going to taper out, especially when we get numbers coming in July. Now, that doesn't mean it's permanent. Inflation could still be high for a very long time. But this is a Fed-induced recession. Let's keep that in mind. It's a Fed-induced recession on purpose because they want to slow down inflation. And let's not forget, oil has been coming down. I reported that this morning. And supply chain issues are getting better. So you put all these things together, I don't think the economy is looking bad and will get worse. I actually think we are in recovery mode. I may be wrong, but that's my opinion. A lot of people still feel like, oh, things are going to get much worse, as we head into the latter months of this year. I actually think we're going to get better. We'll see. We'll see who's right. I could be 100% off by that, but just putting everything together, I do think things are going to get better. All right. So there's this. What else is there? Nomad gets 20 million back of the 190 million. This is also good. I don't quite understand it. It's like they're pleading to the hackers, and some of the hackers gave it back or something like that. I actually don't know how they got more back. According to this article, they're getting a whole bunch of money from different sources. So, they're pleading to white hackers and ethical research friends. So I don't know if it's just people making donations or they're hacking the hackers to get it back. It doesn't really make much sense to me. But they recovered about 20 million out of 190 million, which is 10%, over 10%, which is good. But I don't quite understand if it's just the pure donations from people or what. But hopefully they can recover more and move on. Recently there's just been so many hacks, way too many hacks. And it's adding more FUD to the space, and we don't need more FUD right now, right? Anastasia asked, by cash, do you mean USD? Yes, USD cash. All right. Now, as for Bitcoin, well, according to Crypto Rover, Bitcoin has never been more oversold on the monthly than today. Well, there's a lot of long-term macro charts that basically say the same thing. You can see on a monthly scale, going all the way back to the beginning, there's been very, very, very few times where the RSI dips to this level, which is marked in red, right? And my camera is cutting off, but if you take a look, if I could shut off my camera here, you'll see that, yeah, on a monthly scale, Bitcoin technically has never been this oversold. And here's the kicker. Even though it has never been this oversold, it's still way higher at 23,000 versus 3,000 the last time it hit this level, and versus 160 the time before that. So we're in a much better spot right now than before, even though we are this oversold, right? Bitcoin is strong, very, very strong. Just think about everything I've been saying, all the fearful things that could happen with war, with the economies, with inflation, with everything that's going on, fiat, devaluing, debasing, everything, right? And all the collapses that has happened in the crypto space, Bitcoin is still where it is at, 23,000, holding strong, and it's looking like it wants to flip to the upside. So that's, I would say, pretty bullish, right? That's very, very bullish. There's other indicators like Illiquid Supply shock. You see a big spike recently. What does that mean? Well, that means there's a lot of buying going on and being taken away from the system. Illiquid Supply just means system Bitcoin that's not on exchanges being basically taken off and stored into cold wallets. And you're seeing a big spike. Now, some of that could be due to the hacks that we've been seeing, right? With Solana, with their wallet, with Harmony, with Nomad, with Ronin. I mean, there's just way too many hacks, but that could be. But I think part of that is also just people just buying in because they're sick of everything else that they're seeing right now, right? So there you go. Also, NUPL, which is measuring unrealized profit and loss. Usually when you have a ton of people that is facing an unrealized loss, guess what? That's usually a bottom indicator because that means there's a lot of capitulation. People have sold off, and that's usually when you want to buy. When people are fearful, people are just like, I'm done. I'm getting out. This is all Ponzi. This is all scam, right? Whenever you hear everyone say that, that's usually when you want to buy because that's when everyone has capitulated. That's basically what this is measuring, and we are flipping to the upside from capitulation, just like previous times, like 2020 and 2018 and 2015, and even going back to 2011, 2012, right? So another one of those bottom indicators. And here's another one. That's MVRV. Also, you can see bottom where we are right now, right? So there's just, point is, there's a million of these. There's a million of these models that's measuring the health of Bitcoin, the holders, the addresses, right? Comparing it to previous cycles, previous bottoms, and every single one is basically saying we have hit bottom and we're on our way to recovery. Now, all these could be invalidated if the macro conditions of the world gets worse, right? But in my opinion, they're not. I think we have seen pretty much the worst, and we're coming up from the worst, right? And I think things are going to get better, which is why I think these paint a pretty picture. But of course, if something drastic happens on a macro scale, then some of these will probably be invalidated. But right now, they're all looking good. And let's not forget that the number of holders are still increasing. I don't have the ones that show the number of addresses, but addresses that's holding 0.1 Bitcoin, 0.01 Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin, 1,000 Bitcoin, 10,000 Bitcoin, they're all at all-time high right now. People are stocking up, and that's what you want to see, right? All right, so there's those things. Hey, Bitcoin is still coming up. Look at that. That's what's happening right now while I'm streaming. So that's fantastic. What else is there? Little Binance news. Binance has been doing good. I think, people always say, what about Binance? Binance is one of the most overlooked crypto out there. Like, really no one, I don't see anyone talking about Binance Coin. It seems like people want to ignore it, except the fact that they are sitting at number 5. They're about to flip to number 4 above USDC soon. And if they keep going, they can even flip above Tether at number 3. They are a gigantic behemoth. If you thought XRP was big, BNB is triple the size of XRP. So it's hard to ignore, but yet it seems like everyone is ignoring it. And Binance continues to just plug away. They're coming out with a new Bitcoin rewards card in Argentina. We know Argentina really desperately needs something else because their fiat is just being hyperinflated into like absolutely nothing, right? So people would love to get into Bitcoin, right? So getting rewarded in Bitcoin is not too shabby. Also, they're going to launch something completely new for KYC, for ID purposes. They're going to launch a Soulbound token. This reminds me of like World of Warcraft, like games when you hear about Soulbound. So basically it's a token that you cannot trade. You cannot transfer. It belongs to you. It's like your ID system. And you could use it for KYC reasons and also use it to receive airdrops if Binance happens to want, they're going to airdrop to you or other dApps wants to airdrop to you. It's the first time I've ever heard this. This is brand new. So it's kind of interesting, So basically they're saying that you have to complete a KYC process, which they force already. Binance already forces that regardless if you're on .us or .com. But after that, you get to mint it, and then that's it. You get to keep it. You get this one BAB token, which you cannot transfer. That's actually quite interesting. Anyways, so there's that, and of course, Binance is still they still have their coin burning, their new chain, Binance Chain, is still growing. A lot of good stuff happening with Binance right now. What else is good? I mentioned about Flow, Instagram, Meta. They made this huge partnership Huge partnership. That's why flow is up like 40%. So Instagram and Meta, they're really desperate, man. Like their metaverse entry has been an absolute disaster. They're losing billions upon billions upon billions every quarter, every year. And they are desperate. So now Instagram has added flow. And with the Dapper wallet, you can now display your NFTs within Instagram. Right? And this is being rolled out to 100 countries immediately. Right? This is how fast this is moving. Not just like, oh, in just the US or wherever. It's everywhere, all at once. Right? So it's absolutely huge for Flow, which is created by Dapper Labs, which they have their own wallet. And Flow also powers NBA Top Shots and several other smaller NFT projects. And this is a way for Instagram and Meta to really get into NFTs. But besides just displaying it, I don't know what other purpose there is right now. Maybe they're going to do some kind of verification, kind of copy what Twitter has done. I haven't heard anything about that. Are they going to allow, crypto trading or let's say NFT trading? Haven't heard about that. Can you buy? I did hear that Meta also is partnering up with Coinbase Wallet, right? So there's something going on there. So there could be some kind of NFT trading that will be involved, but then it's on Coinbase Wallet, right? So it's a little confusing there, but there is like a three-way thing going on with Coinbase Wallet, with Flow, and with Instagram. But, it's pretty big for Flow. I don't know if it's big for Instagram, so I guess wait for it to be enabled and see what happens. And then lastly, Uniswap. Uniswap has also been doing very well indeed, over 153% gain in the last 2 months. And they are having a new proposal to basically create a foundation to just basically make themselves even more decentralized. Right? They want to create a new foundation. They need a budget of $74 million. So this is a new proposal that's being talked about, and this could be enacted. Uniswap obviously has been gaining a lot of traction recently because of all the woes around CeFi. So now people are turning DeFi. So Uniswap has been doing well. Compound, Aave, Lido, they all been doing well. So this is good. Step in the right direction, I would say. And then lastly, I saw this. This is a job posting for a senior software engineer. So if you're a senior software engineer and you're in California, Roblox, okay, which is a very popular game among kids, they are looking they're looking for this engineer to help with the Roblox marketplace and make it Web 3 or Web 3 ready and support billions of item transactions to happen both on the blockchain and Roblox. So it looks like Roblox is jumping in. Which chain are they using? I don't know. It could be Flow. It could be Polygon. I have a feeling it could be Polygon. But it could also be just Ethereum, but I doubt it. But think about that. Roblox, if they're going to get involved and make their items NFTs now, and then people, kids or whoever could buy them, and trade them and stuff like that, it'll be huge, and that's coming too. That is coming. All right, guys, that is it. Cuss me with Voyager news. Does cash include stablecoins? No, cash means cash, USD, not any crypto. Stablecoins are crypto, right? So if you're licking your chops thinking, oh, you go get your stablecoins back, no, you're not. You're only going to get cash. So whatever you have in cash, USD, cash, USD. All right, hopefully that explains it. But it is not any kind of crypto, not stable coins, and most likely you will not get those in full because there's a 666 million hole from Three Arrows Capital that they can't plug. So that's the unfortunate thing. But at least if you have some cash in there, you should get it full, but I don't know when they're going to give it back to you because they have not given a timeline yet. All right, guys. We pumped right back above 22A, so that's fantastic. So let's do some Q&A. Dan, NFTs have a lot of potential in video games. I think the economy today is all about empowering people to make a living instead of just selling a product, being the middleman like Binance. Dan, I agree with you. I've said this for a while. Games will incorporate NFTs and will move to the blockchain eventually. Okay? NFTs plus games, it just makes so much sense. Even though the gamers supposedly hate it, they think it's a cash grab, they don't want to change anything, right? But think about the dynamics of games, right? You go from you're paying a game and that's it, to you're not paying a game, you're getting a game for free, but buying in-game items. Think about the next evolution. You're not paying for a game, you're not paying for items, and you're allowed to sell your items that you collect in-game, which are NFTs, and make money off of that. Why would you not want to participate in that? That is the next evolution. It's going to happen, right? And I do think, a lot of game makers are moving in that direction already. So I think it's going to definitely happen. Government wants to buy BTC so it could pay off its debt one day. The U.S. government never wants to pay off its debt. That will never happen in our lifetime. There's no reason for them to pay it off. They just don't care. There's no consequences to keep running the debt up. I do hear a lot of guys like Ray Dalio and Peter Schiff and several other economists that will say, the U.S. debt is so high and we added so many trillions. It's true. It's true. And they're all predicting one day it's going to collapse, right? But when is that one day? 100 years from now? 50 years from now? That 17 trillion deficit that we're in, it could balloon up to 50 trillion. It could balloon up to 100 trillion, right? I don't know. I just don't see an end to it. And I don't see us ever being able to repay it back. So wrong on this one. If you're a gamer, you understand. You tell me. Tell me why I'm wrong and tell me why, as a gamer, you think it's off. Because I haven't heard any good explanation so far. I like to understand, seriously. Get a fog machine. I may get a poster of Gary Gensler. I think that'll dress things up. Or I was thinking about putting my shoe boxes back here, displaying my shoes. It'll look cool in the light. I don't know. I'm not so concerned about the background. I think my lights is good enough. Mark Zuckerberg trying to sneak into the space. I mean, Instagram is really the last good thing that Meta has, and Instagram is really dying right now. They're really desperate. They're trying to change the algorithm to compete with TikTok, and it's just not working. So I don't know what Instagram's doing. A lot of people have been complaining. They just want it to stay as a photo app. But Instagram is so desperate at keeping users, they have to basically turn themselves into a TikTok clone. I don't know. It just seems like they're not going the right direction. They need to innovate instead of copy. Can you look at 3 Floor Studios, let you know they make Marvel universes? I appreciate AA games. Haven't you asked that before, Jeremy? I think you asked that like 3 times. It's not even a crypto project. Are you just talking about some like gaming company? So what crypto are they related to? Let's see. Slowly accumulating VET and ADA till the next bull run. There's nothing wrong with that. Is staking on Binance.us safe? Yes, I would say so, because the staking on Binance.us is like, they're basically passing along rewards to you. It would be the same as if you were staking in Polygon yourself, or you're staking in Avalanche yourself. You could download a wallet and stake and gain like 10, 11%, rewards, but Binance will just do it for you if you happen to have a crypto on there, but they give you a little bit less. Rather than 10%, they'll give you 9% or something like that. So it's not like they're lending it out. They're not doing what Celsius or Voyager did. So I would say so. Peter Schiff criticizes people in crypto for selling people a dream, but he's preaching the same with gold on the hopes that US dollar will collapse. Yeah, I saw that recently. He was trying to spread fear, like how China could get back at the US by selling off the US treasury they hold and buying gold. And I mean, he's still like trying to spread the word about like buying gold. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to change. And maybe someday he's right. Maybe, if, I don't know, the global financial infrastructure everywhere dies because of some massive war or something, and we have to go back to something physical, maybe then gold will be the dominant, currency again. But right now, just this seems unlikely, and he keeps pushing the narrative that gold is going to go up. You look at his interviews from 2008, 2009, 2010, he kept claiming that gold was going to go to 5,000. Still hasn't happened. He doesn't talk about that anymore. He talks about Bitcoiners selling a dream, yet, yeah, like you said, he has done the same thing over the last decade. Yeah, I think this is the fourth sheep, the metaverse. Okay, Jeremy. Good for sheep. I've been talking a lot about sheep. I don't really care about that studio, 3-floor studio, to be honest. I have looked at it before. I'm pretty sure you have asked me before, and I have looked at it before. I don't think it's going to be game-changing for sheep. Okay, let's just put it that way. But it's good that they're taking things seriously and trying to grow out their ecosystem. I just covered they're coming out with some mobile game and their main metaverse, and there's other things. But you don't have to ask the same thing over and over, man, every day. Why can't I convert BTC in my Coinbase non-custodial wallet? Because it's a ERC20 based wallet. That's why. There's not a lot of Bitcoin bridges. As surprising as that sounds, if you look at most of these non-custodial wallets, they don't have a Bitcoin bridge. They're all like Ethereum bridge or BNB bridge or like Solana bridge, but not a lot of them have Bitcoin bridges. That's why it's hard to convert your Bitcoin. But you could. There's some. Because Coinbase Wallet, just like anything else, you could just pull up any dApps, and you should be able to swap to BTC with one of the dexes. I don't know which one off the top of my head. Just try the dexes one after another. You'll find one that will swap to BTC. Do you see ETC becoming a new home for miners? No, I don't. Because there's a new development happening, and that's ETHW. There may be a subset of miners that do not upgrade their software. They will stick with mining and cause a fork. And if that happens, there'll be another Ethereum chain, and most of the miners will probably just stay there. I don't know. It's a new development. I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen, because usually when a contentious fork like that happens, it's just due to pure greed, and I don't want to see another Ethereum chain. Vegas trip in a couple weekends. What's your lucky number? I actually don't have early plays. I don't have a lucky number. If I'm playing roulette, the three numbers I always go with is 6, 21, and 33, because they're all right next to each other. But I rarely hit big with any of those numbers. Do you think Matic will ever crack top 5? I think top 10, but not top 5. Top 5 is too hard. I mean, you look at a competition, it's really tough to break through some of these guys. I say top 10 is feasible, but top 5 would be really hard. What is TCG 2? Well, they just fell off a cliff today. Some kind of metaverse. TCG World Metaverse Land Presale. Okay. I'm not going to look at that. What about displaying highlighting crypto of the day in the back? That's easier said than done. You got to get decals and stuff to make that happen. So probably not. Shiba Inu, I see it's a dead chain because they don't care about burning the supply. Dan, actually, that's not true at all. They're going to release a Visa card, which will burn SHIB. And also, the number of people voluntarily burning SHIB is growing by leaps and bounds. So I don't think that's exactly true, Dan. I think they are actually going to burn. And let's not forget, there's a lot of chains out there that have no burning. You know, some consider burning cheating. There are some chains that don't have any burning, and they're doing just fine. So SHIB does not require burning to succeed. But it helps. It helps. Cadena, no, you need a special miner for Cadena. They can't GPU mine. I think a lot of people don't know that, but you can't GPU mine Cadena. Kermit, no, I don't have a makeup artist. Hopefully I don't ever need one, but maybe someday. I actually played 2133 already. 6 it is. If you look at it, you know, the two numbers next to 21 is 6 and 33. That's why I always play it. Would you prefer ETC over the fork for miners? No. I don't like ETC. ETC has no future. I don't know what they're doing. Some people will stick with ETC. Right now, it's doing better because I think a lot of people like you think that all the miners will go to ETC, but are they trying to, you know, grow their dApps? Are they trying to be like a digital currency? Or are they trying to be a network? I don't know, right? At least Ethereum has a plan. They have a roadmap. They're trying to be the greatest network out there, right? That supports dApps. Is Ethereum Classic doing that? No. Are they trying to be a digital currency? A day-to-day currency that people can use? No. So I don't know what Ethereum Classic is going to do. That's why I'm neutral, and I don't hate them, but I think buying Ethereum is much smarter than buying Ethereum Classic. Thank you for that super chat, B, please. Am I a clone in this new room? Maybe I'm just a virtual AI. You'll have to find out. Do you play Diablo Immortal? No, I can't get back into it. I actually downloaded the game. I paid for it. I played the first level, and then I quit. I don't have time for that, and I don't want to get back into it. I wasted so many college years playing Diablo 2. It's like I missed like a whole year of school because of it. I was so addicted to Diablo 2 in college. It was not even funny. Do I own any guns? No. Besides the guns right here. The gun show. No, I'm just kidding. I used to have pretty good guns. Not anymore. I need to work out more. What's Diablo 2? If you don't know Diablo 2, then you're not a gamer, man. Diablo 2 was probably the best game ever made. Did you see a video of LeBron and Sons at the Lakers practice facility? No. You know the problem with Bronny is that he's not as tall as LeBron. He's like, he looks like he's like 6'4". You know, obviously LeBron's like 6'9", 6'10", so there's a big gap, right? And you know, in the NBA, if you're under like 6'4", you have a really hard time of doing well unless you're just, you know, near the top. So Bronny needs to add a few inches. If he's like 6'7", 6'8", even if he's not as tall as LeBron, he'll be okay. But if he's coming into the NBA at like 6'3", 6'4", I think he's going to have a hard time competing. I'm 32, play D2 on 19. Congratulations. Or 19, right? Am I a Phantom holder? Yes. I like Phantom. I think they have, I like them. I think they have good potential. The best game ever made is Counter-Strike. I can't get into first-person shooters. I think they're good. I know so many people played Counter-Strike in the past, but I don't like first-person shooters. Shout out Stephen Curry, 6'2". I mean, he's like one of one, right? There's no other Steph Curry out there. He's like a cheat code, but even he's getting old. He can't be that good forever. Dan, I don't know. Maybe something eventual will happen with Luna Classic, but developing a 1.2% burn after it's added trillions to a supply, do you really think that's going to do much? They need to implement like 100% burn, like, and 100% burn every month or something like that to get it back. Luna Classic have added trillions to its supply. So, yeah, that 1.2% burn is not going to do much. Playing Diablo 2 a lot in the year 2000. Yeah, I mean, my college years, 2000, 2001. I actually got, I was one of the beta testers. Luckily, I got in. I don't know if it's luckily because I got addicted to it. So if you wait until the end of Diablo 2, it'll say Ring of 1,000 credits. Like my name is in there because I was one of the very first beta testers. And then I just got really addicted. It was bad addiction. All right, guys, I think that's it. Do we get back up to 23? Well, we're really close. Really close. So to recap, got some surprising news today. AMC, it's not a crypto, but they're going to give out Ape shares. For whatever reason, they're going to give out Ape shares, okay? We got some scariness going on with China firing missiles over Taiwan. NATO going to add 2 more countries. You know, is that going to piss off Russia? And then we got Voyager giving out cash only, not crypto, not stable coins. They have been granted access to it. And there's several other big things I've covered. Stay strong, my friends. Bitcoin looks good. Crypto overall looks good. There's a lot of projects that still developing, churning away, forming partnerships. Look at what just happened with Flow and Instagram. Huge partnership for them, right? A lot of good things happening despite the fact that, yes, we have hacks and bankruptcies and vulnerabilities and stuff like that. But there's a lot of great things happening in this space too. So stay strong, my friends, and I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.